Henry was feeling very sorry for himself.
I suffer dreadfully, and no one cares.
You're full of rubbish, Henry. I know you were a prototype, but come on, can you at least try working your best today?
I hope the fat director finds a solution for me. He probably won't. I might be sent off for scrap.
You're too expensive, Henry. We've given you lots of new parts and new paint too, but they can't seem to make you better. And if we can't make you better, well, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to get another engine instead of you. The fat director was waiting at the platform for Henry. He took off his hat and coat and put on some overalls and went into Henry. Henry's fireman said, you know, sir, Henry's a bad steamer. I keep putting coal in the fire, but it doesn't give him enough heat. I tried basically everything to make him work, but he just can't build up steam. Henry tried his best, but he wasn't making enough steam. They stopped outside of Edward's station.
Oh no, I shall have to go away.
So Edward took charge of the train while Henry went into the siding. Look here, what do you think is wrong with Henry? Well, if you don't mind me asking, sir, the coal's wrong. We had a poor lot lately, and today is worse. See, Henry's firebox is small, since that's how he was designed. But the engines have much bigger fireboxes, so they can manage the coal. But Welsh coal is like a heat booster. It burns more, but gives a lot more heat. So if Henry had that, it would be much better and he would steam properly. It's expensive, but Henry must have a fair chance. When the Welsh coal arrived, Henry's driver and fireman were excited. This is fine stuff here. Now we'll show him, Henry, old fellow. They carefully oiled all his joints. While the driver was doing that, the fireman made the fire. It was already lit, so we had to make it carefully. He put large lumps of coal, like a wall, around the inside of the fire. Then, he filled the red glowing part with smaller lumps.
Hey, you're spoiling my fire.
You wait and see. We'll have a roaring fire just when we want it.
Henry's fireman was right. He had a lot of steam, and the water was bubbling nicely. Henry was excited that he had to let off steam. The fat director was waiting outside watching Henry.
Hello, Henry. How are you? I feel fine, sir. This is the best I've felt in a while.
Good. Have you got a good fire driver? Never better, sir. And plenty of steam. Good. Well, no record breaking. And don't push Henry too hard. Bless you, sir. Henry don't need no pushing. I'll just have to hold him back. Henry had a lovely day. He never felt well in all his life. Hello, Henry. You seem better.
Yes, I am. The fat director gave me Welsh coal. I could run easily and have no problems.
Well, that's just wonderful. Now I don't need to take your passengers anymore.
Well, at least I have more work now.
When they got to the junction, Henry was early, so he had time to spare. Then Thomas arrived.
Hello, lazy bones. Where have you been? I can't wait for dawdling tank engines like you. Goodbye.
Woo! Well, I never. Have you ever seen anything like it? Annie and Clarabelle both agreed that they never have. Lots of ships travel to the big harbor by the sea. There are passenger ships with spotless paint. Other boats, though older and dirtier, are still important too. They bring us materials that we need, like wood, coal, and meat. Fishing boats also come here. They unload their fish on the quay. While some of it goes into shops in the towns, others go on a special train. This is the train the railwaymen call the Flying Kipper. One winter evening, Henry's driver said, "We'll be out early tomorrow. We got to take the Flying Kipper. The special coal they gave you is working well." Don't tell Gordon, but if we pull the Kipper nicely, the fat director may let us pull the express.
Hurrah! That will be lovely.
Henry was ready at 5 o'clock. There was snow and frost. Men hustled and shouted, loading up the vans with crates of fish. The last door banged, the guard showed his green lamp, and they were ready.
Come on, don't be silly,
Puffed Henry to the vans. The vans shuddered and groaned. All right.
That's better. Hurry!
Clouds of smoke and steam poured from his funnel into the cold air, and the fire's light shone brightly. They were going well. Henry saw a yellow signal.
Distant signal. That means caution.
His driver prepared to stop, but the home signal was down.
All clear, Henry. Away we go.
They couldn't know the points from the main line to the siding were stuck due to frozen ballast. The signal was set at danger, but snow had forced it down. A goods train was waiting in the siding, waiting for the Flying Kipper to pass, and the driver and fireman were drinking cocoa in the caboose. The Kippers do. Who cares? This is some good cocoa. The driver got up. Come on, fireman, back to our engine. Hey, but I haven't finished my hot cocoa yet.
Oh God, stop!
Henry's driver and fireman jumped clear before the crash, but Henry was dazed and surprised.
The signal was down, sir.
Never mind, Henry. It wasn't your fault. Ice and snow caused the accident. I'm sending you to Crew, a fine place for sick engines. They'll give you a new shape and a larger firebox, and you won't need special coal anymore. Won't that be nice?
Yes, sir.
Henry liked being at Crew, but was glad to come home. He mostly pulls heavy goods trains. Sometimes he pulls the express. He does it so well that Gordon gets jealous of him. But that's another story. Gordon was cross. Very cross. Why should that Henry have a new shape? A shape good enough for me is good enough for him. Not also that. He goes gallanting off the Crew and expects us to do his work. And he whistles too much. No disrespectful engine whistles that much at a station. It isn't wrong, you know, but we just don't do it.
You're just jealous that I got a rebuild. You're a prototype A1, and you even got a custom corridor tender. Hell, but you still argue with me. I'm surprised I was able to survive my accident. And this is all I get a welcome home? You're a disrespectful blue bastard.
Never mind him, Henry. He's just jealous. And frankly, I like your whistle, and I'm glad you're home.
Thank you, Percy. You are a good friend.
The next day, Gordon was still complaining. Goodbye, Henry. We're glad to see you again. Now don't whistle too much. After Gordon left, Henry took a stopping service to Edward's station.
Hello, Henry. You look splendid. I was glad to hear your happy whistle yesterday. Thank you, Edward. I really appreciate it. Say, can you hear something?
It ought to be Gordon. But that's impossible. He never whistles like that. Indeed, it was Gordon. He didn't look at Henry, and he didn't look at Edward. He just screamed through the station. Well, what do you think of that, Henry? What's so funny?
It isn't wrong, but we just don't do it.
At the big station, the noise was awful. Everyone covered their ears. Take them away! Take them away! Gordon felt very embarrassed. He left the station right after the last deafened passenger left. Two fitters came and climbed up onto Gordon and knocked his whistle valve back into place. And then there was silence.
Oh, good Lord. It's finally over.
After that, Gordon crawled to the shed. He was the only one there, so nobody saw him. When everybody was at the shed, Henry said to nobody in particular,
It isn't wrong, but we just don't do it.
No one mentioned whistles after that. During early winter mornings, Percy would often see workmen wearing scarves. He was very cold. He always wanted a scarf, and he kept talking about it. My funnel's cold. I want a scarf. My funnel's cold.
Oh, rubbish, Percy. Engines don't wear scarves.
Engines with proper funnels do, Henry. You only got a small one.
Oh, shut it. I'm proud of my funnel.
Green caterpillar. Percy's driver would always shut off steam right outside the station, and Percy would surprise the coaches. Two porters were crossing the line with the trolley. It was a heavy load, so they moved it carefully. They made sure nothing fell off. But Percy came in so quietly that the porters didn't hear him until the trolley was on the main line. Hey, look out! Run! Crates went everywhere. Percy had purple jam on him, with a top hat on his lamp iron, and trousers wrapped around his funnel like a scarf. Mine! Percy, look at this mess. My hat's dented and my trousers are soaked in jam. I also have to pay for the passengers' clothing because you were playing hopscotch with the coaches. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to do this. Sir, do you want me to get your trousers for you? No. Percy can use that as a scarf for his funnel. That will teach him a lesson. It was at that point that Percy didn't like scarves anymore.